All right, y'all, boy, we're back. It's another Monday, another week of greatness. Of course, I gotta ask, how's your past week went? Did you listen to anything good? Because I know I did, man. Because for today's video, all I've been doing was listening to super hot fire, absolutely flaming hot diss tracks. This shit right here, it's like Captain America Civil War. Everybody's beefing. The mainstream rap game, it's in flames right now. And it's all because one dude from Compton decided to say that he was the best out there. And I'm not gonna lie, I know, I'm lying so bad. This is my third video talking about the same drama, but it's like the pot just keeps getting hotter, the drama just keeps getting spicier, the diss tracks just keep rolling out. We got new challengers in here now. New people who have nothing to do with it, but they're just here now. It has went from Kendrick versus Cole versus Drake to Kendrick, Future, Metro, Taylor Swift, Rick Ross, and Kanye West versus Drake, Tupac, and Snoop Dogg, with a sideshow of Quavo versus Chris Brown. Like, what even is this drama anymore? I don't know, but I'm all for it. Like, who would have thought that a few bars from Kendrick Lamar would turn the mainstream rap game on its head like this? Like, this is blowing my mind. But to update you on the main beef between Drake and Kendrick, whatever, at this point, since J. Cole practically KO'd himself, Kendrick's been pretty silent since We Don't Trust You dropped, and he did his whole verse for Like That. But Drake has definitely been on the front lines. He's been shooting shots. He's been sending out all the rocket launchers, throwing the grenades, hitting the snipers on him, 360 no scope like it's Call of Duty. First, he officially dropped push-ups on streaming, basically solidifying that this is not an AI song. No, this is an actual thing that Drake did. Secondly, Drake has also dropped another diss track against Kendrick Lamar called the Tailor-Made Freestyle. And geez Louise, is this just a whole 2 minutes worth of Drake just shitting all over Kendrick. And not only that, he also uses the AI voices of Snoop Dogg and Tupac to help try and antagonize Kendrick Lamar and trying to make him fire back after the constant digs about Taylor Swift owning his career, which is also something that Drake does along this track as well. I mean, the whole track is basically Drake just saying like, bro, your career got made by Taylor Swift because you had that verse on the Bad Blood remix. I mean, that's basically what it is. It's not something that I feel hit as hard as Push-Ups did, but I mean, I guess if you want something to take a dig at Kendrick Lamar and get him out of his hole, sure. I mean, he also talks about how PG Lang has been pretty silent. Baby Keem hasn't said nothing. Tana Leon hasn't said anything. You know, PG Lang as a whole, it's all been pretty quiet. Kendrick's probably just like, I don't know, reading a book or some shit. It's not like he's on social media anyway, so none of it really matters to him. And there's also a poop bar tossed in here, but I don't want to bring it up because I can't stand poop bars, so we're just going to move along. But to get into my thoughts on this diss track, I firstly just want to say that I'm kind of glad that J. Cole got out of this drama before it got to this point, because I feel like it's just gotten way out of hand. I mean, don't get me wrong, J. Cole still made a very soft move pulling out like that, especially in the fashion that he did. I mean, if I was J. Cole, I wasn't going to pull 7-minute drill off streaming. I was going to keep that shit up and stand on business. But like, I just genuinely don't understand how one dude can say a couple of bars, then here comes a Canadian with a shattered ego ready to go to war. And to say that Taylor Swift made Kendrick Lamar's career, I feel like that's something I wouldn't exactly agree with. I mean, sure, it definitely did help him in the mainstream because, I mean, Taylor Swift is a massive pop artist. And of course, you know, she probably could put some people on, but at the same time, I feel like when the Bad Blood remix came out with Kendrick Lamar's verse, I feel like he was already pretty well established within the music scene. Because when did that song come out? Like 2014? Yeah, he had already dropped Good Kid, Mad City a couple years ago, so he was already kind of just there and getting that notice. And he was about to drop To Pimp a Butterfly the following year, so I mean, yeah, I feel like he kind of already had that leg up. You know, as I said in the last video, Kendrick doing the verse for Taylor Swift was in the same fashion of Drake bouncing between genres to stay up top. They're both doing these things for the same objective, so I don't really know where Drake is going with that. But moving on, of course, you can't have a mainstream rap beef without the most controversial man alive getting involved, with him hopping on a remix version of Like That with Metro Boomin and Future and Kendrick Lamar. He didn't do too much shot shooting, but what I will say is that he did say that J. Cole's music made the coochie dry, which I think is the funniest thing ever because, like, yeah, he's not wrong, but at the same time, I kind of feel bad for J. Cole. He did not need to continuously keep catching strays after he already done KO'd himself out of this drama. But I feel like when it comes to Kanye, I mean, I feel like there's not really much you can actually say to a dude who's already so controversial as it is in the hip-hop game. him. I mean, you could say really just about anything about him at this point. He probably wouldn't even deny it. He'd probably just go on an Instagram live and rant for like an hour about how much he hates you or whatever. Kanye is like essentially invincible at this point because he's already like burned every bridge imaginable. But of course, as I brought up before, we had our special little sideshow that has started now with Chris Brown and Quavo. I mean, this is crazy too to me because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think Chris Brown had that dog in him, but that shit was barking. I'm not gonna lie, that shit was barking. He has recently dropped a diss track against Quavo called The Weakest Link, and it is just a full-on burn. Like, you would think that the disses that Drake has done recently had some grit to them, you know, they were pretty nasty. The level that Chris Brown has went to, if I'm Quavo, I'm throwing a grenade through your car. Like, I don't even know where to start with this song because it just irradiates malicious intent when I'm looking at the lyrics. Like, I knew Chris Brown could rap, but like, dog, we're looking for diss tracks, not manslaughter. But one of the bars that Chris Brown says up in here is hinting on the fact that Saweetie, who used to be Quavo's girlfriend, was actually cheating on Quavo with Chris Brown. With Chris Brown saying that, you fucked my ex-ho, that's cool, because I fucked your ex when you were still with her. Then he basically solidifies the rumors by saying sweet throughout like the next couple of bars, which if you don't really get like the reference, he's saying sweet as in Saweetie. You know, if you can't put two and two together. Then he also says that during Fashion Week, he hated being sat next to Quavo because there were some photos of Chris Brown and Quavo being sat next to each other with people thinking that, oh, the beef was over or whatever, but no, the beef was not over. But the final nail in the coffin that I wanted to talk about that got everybody riled up was when Chris Brown said, Rip Takeoff, he's the only real one that got true respect. Crazy how when he died, everyone really wished it was you instead. And I'm not gonna lie, if I'm Quavo, I'm not dropping a diss track. I'm sending a drone strike to your house. Like, I didn't even know how these two had beef beforehand, but it's became pretty clear now when just listening to this diss track right here, how it even began in the first place. And it's because these two dudes can't stop hooking up with each other's girlfriends. But of course, this gives me content, so I have like absolutely nothing to complain about. I mean, from my perspective, this is probably the most entertaining drama I've seen in hip hop since Lil Uzi ran down Rich the Kid. I'm just waiting to see who else is going to join the fray. I mean, is it going to be Eminem or Ja Rule or NBA Youngboy? You might see 50 Cent come out of the woodworks just because he likes to see the chaos. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on how you feel about this entire drama. I'm gonna just be here fueling the fire, man. I mean, hopefully, I don't even know if I want to even keep this going or not. I really don't know. I want it to stop because it's like, oh my gosh, dude, beef, drama, you know, stop the violence. But like at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen beef this entertaining in the rap game since the early 2000s, when it was everybody versus 50 Cent. And now it feels like it's everybody versus Drake, and then you just got a little thing of Chris Brown and Quavo. I mean, I really don't know what's gonna happen with those two. I feel like Chris Brown was way out of line in those bars, but I don't know. God save his soul. That's all I can really say. Like and subscribe. I'm gonna go. What do I do after these videos? I really don't know. Y'all tell me. I don't know. Y'all the ones who watch them. Y'all stay easy. I gotta go. Peace out.
Today about a 10-year-old girl with Down syndrome who was taken from her mother and put in a cage. I read about did you say